Okay, so what's next? I need to build. I've got whole steps, I've got half steps. That all makes sense, right? I'm going to build a major scale. What is a major scale? That's just that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do type thing that you've heard your entire life, and it's everything in music. Everything else, beyond this point, everything's going to relate to the major scale in one way or another. Anything you do. So important things to get to know. And to do this, we're going to start on a tonic note. That is the starting place, the start of a major scale, or we could say the start of a key, right? Which is kind of one and the same. So our tonic note in this case is going to be C. And from the C note, to get to the second note of the scale, we will play a whole step. So that's C to D. Oop, with the volume up. There we go. Cool. I'm going to do all this on one string for now. All right. So C to D. From the D note, there's another whole step to get to the third note of the scale. That would be D to E, going up to the 7th fret there. Then half step from E to F. So you can see the pattern here. It's whole, half. Pretty good. So a couple more whole steps. From the F note to the G note, that's a whole step. Another whole step from G to A, and then whole step from A to B. Close it out with a half step from B to C. Okay, so this is something to commit to memory, this pattern of intervals. This is the major scale, right? Whole, half, whole, half. That's 2 wholes and a half, 3 wholes and a half. Get to know it. That's your major scale. And now, if you want to get creative, now I know we can all look up scale diagrams and stuff like that. That's good. You can do that. You know, getting to know how to play these things in a position, for example. That's a good idea. I would encourage you to start to find this stuff based on what we just talked about with half steps and whole steps, especially with them occurring on different strings. So, for example, I know that, all right, the first note, my tonic, the first interval to get this thing going is a whole step, right? So from C to D, that's a whole step. Big deal. All right, I just played that on one string. Good. Let's see. So from D to E is also a whole step. So I can play that on one string. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Yeah. All right. So what was I saying? I gotta get this thing out of here. Nobody can see what I'm doing, by the way. So I realize this. This is just my own frustration here. So anyway. C to D, that was a whole step. I played that on one string. I could also play, there's D to E, that was on one string again. I don't have to do it that way though. Let's say I don't want to move my hand. So what I might do instead is move from my D to my E, the way I know a whole step moves between 2 strings. So I'm playing the 5th fret over here on the A string and moving to the D string. Over here I've got my 2nd fret. That's an E note. So I've got something like this, right? 3 notes, all in one position. I don't have to move my hand to get this stuff. So, whole step, I know there's a half step that comes next. I'll do that on the same string. Then a whole step, same string again. And then, between 2 strings, I've got another whole step. That's the G note going to the A on the 2nd fret of the G. So, again, I'm keeping this nice compact little fingering here that's working well for playing. I just added another whole step to the top of that. So. And then half step at the end. Any number of ways you could arrange this stuff. You could play whole, half. Can't talk and play at the same time. Here's whole step, half step. I just played 2 notes on the A string, or sorry, 3 notes on the A string. Moved over here to the F note on the D string at the 3rd fret. Lots of ways you could do that. So, well, we're really not in lots of ways. I just dealt with like 3 of them, so that usually covers your bases. Anyway, you can look at the made-for-you scale diagrams and stuff like that. That's interesting, but I would also encourage you to memorize the formula, whole, half, whole, half, and then try to make this stuff on your own. Try to experiment and give yourself the time to kind of explore that.